The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the AutoEntry webinar this morning. We're going to start the webinar around 11:35, just to give the attendees some time to join in. So in this time, you can grab yourself a cup of coffee, a notebook, and a pen to take down notes as well, because it's going to be very interesting and very insightful. So we will be back at 11:35 just to kick off on the webinar. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Ageshni, the product specialist at Sage, and this morning I'll be taking you through AutoEntry and explaining what that is. So basically, this is just an introduction to AutoEntry and how it works with the Sage Business Cloud accounting solution. In this webinar, we are going to speak about the different features of the system, some of the benefits of using AutoEntry, and the different subscription plans that we offer on this. I'll be doing a live demonstration of the product itself. So if you do have any questions, please drop them in the question box and I'll be answering those at the end of the webinar. So AutoEntry is basically a cloud-based solution. All you need to have is internet access and then you'll be able to access the AutoEntry product. This is what your company dashboard would typically look like. In your case, you'll probably have just one company or two companies. I have 4 that I've created over time. And we're just going to look quickly at the company settings. So I'm going to just click here on the cog icon to the left. Sorry, I think it just logged me out. Let me just log back in quickly. Sorry about that. Okay, so if I click on that cog icon to the left, it takes me to the company settings where you would insert your company name, location, etc. What I want to highlight today is the mailbox settings. So what happens is as soon as you put in an email address as soon as you put in a company name, it automatically populates this email address for you where you can send your documents to AutoEntry using these email addresses. So whether they are attachments or whether the documents are in the body of the mail, AutoEntry will pick this up and bring it into the system. At the top here, we have the integrations option available. So on here, you'll basically go down, you'll connect to Sage Accounting, you'll choose your country, put in your login details, and then connect to the Sage Business Cloud Accounting company. Once you're connected, it will give you the integration status here saying Sage Accounting, where you're able to then go in and start uploading your documents. So there is 4 ways of getting the data into AutoEntry, the email addresses that I've just mentioned, the mobile app, which is free to download, where you can take a picture and upload it on there, document fetching, which is a third-party integrator, and then paper copies, which you can scan and upload via the website itself. So once I log into the company, I have all these options available for me. As you can see, you have purchases, suppliers, sales, etc. We're going to first take a look at the purchases upload screen. So here we advise you to leave it set to auto so that AutoEntry automatically detects the single and multi-page items. If you are splitting to different nominal accounts, we advise you to tick this box that says capture line items on purchases. On the right-hand side here, you can also allocate your analysis codes. So if you are using the analysis code option on Sage, you will be able to link it here on AutoEntry as well, where you can either do it on this screen at the point of upload, or you would be able to do it on the individual document itself, which I'll show you in a minute. So you can just click the drop down and allocate it here, bearing in mind that it's going to allocate for all the documents you've uploaded. The upload can take from 30 minutes to 4 hours, whether you're uploading one document or 100. So once you drag and drop your files in here or browse for your files, you will see a green circle with a white tick here. You can then just close AutoEntry and work anywhere else on your computer. You will receive an email notification letting you know that the documents have been uploaded. There will be a link on that email, and if you click on that, it will take you straight into the purchases inbox. So on here, it will extract the date, the supplier name, the currency, the net, the VAT, as well as the totals. Where possible, it will pull in the supplier account, the category, and the VAT code. But if you're uploading for the first time, you would have to manually insert those accounts once you start. So let's choose a nominal account here. So if I choose one there, it gives me the option to remember. So what this means is that AutoEntry will remember this account that was used the next time around. And when you upload a document for the same supplier, it will then pull through the accounts as you have selected them here. On the right-hand side here is where you can link your analysis codes individually. So as you can see, this is per document. It's not going to be linked to multiple documents that has been uploaded. Once you're happy with this line, everything makes sense and it's perfect, you can then click on this green tick to publish, and it will publish it into Sage Business Cloud Accounting. But if you want a closer look at the document, you can click on the blue eye to the left. What this basically does is it gives you a better view of the document itself. So you'll see the invoice details here on the left, and then the actual document that you've uploaded here on the right. So you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can even rotate the document if needed. On here, the description will pull through from the supplier name itself, but it can also be overwritten. It's just a narrative on how that will appear within Sage. AutoEntry will also recognize an invoice or a credit note. All you need to do is upload the same PDF. If it is an invoice, the invoice number will extract for you. The reference block here can be used for your own benefit, so you can put in whichever reference you're comfortable with. And then here you'll find that the totals have also been extracted for you. If you are making use of the multi-currency module, AutoEntry will pick up the currency and it will use the exchange rate as the date of the invoice itself. We also have an option available here for mark as paid. If the invoice has been paid to, then we can switch this to yes and select the payment account it has been paid from and where you would like it to be published to. The benefits of this is that AutoEntry will send the invoice or receipt through to Sage, and we will match the payment to the bank transaction for the clients who run bank feeds. For clients who don't have the bank feed set up, we create the transaction, but it never gets duplicated. Another feature that AutoEntry has is the VAT summaries. If you ask AutoEntry to extract the line items, this is exactly how it would look with the line item on there. As you can see, the description here would be word for word from the description of your actual document itself. You can then go and put in the units, the price, the net, the VAT, the total would automatically appear. I've obviously edited this document, therefore it's not showing on here, but that will come up automatically. So all you need to do basically is select the category that it belongs to, the VAT code, and you're good to go. You can also teach it to remember from this page as well. And if you need to add a line item manually, you can just click add new line item and then manually just capture the line items in there. If we go back up to the invoice, we'll see there's a little truck icon here. So if we click on that, that takes us to the advanced supplier settings that is available. If we know that the supplier always needs to split down to different nominal accounts, we can switch this capture line items to on, and AutoEntry will capture the line items on every invoice. We can select the currency of the supplier as well. We can select the default due date, and you can put in a default description. So for example, if we know that this document is always relating to tools, we can just type in tools in there. If we know that this invoice always comes in as paid, then we can switch this mark as paid feature to on permanently. And then here at the bottom, you can add in the VAT code as well as the category for that specific supplier. So those are basically rules that you're adding on. There's also an option here that says auto publish. So what that means is that if you switch it on, it will send the invoice to AutoEntry, extract the data, and once extracted, it gets sent straight into Sage, and this will save you having to come in and do anything on the actual line item itself. Going back to the line items, if you added them in manually and you selected the option to remember, this is where the line items would be stored. And this is where it will basically remember all the ones that you clicked yes for. And then with the line items, you can also set rules. So here, if we say add rule, so let's take, for example, you've gone to a supplier, they've ordered 100 screws. Along with that, they've ordered some other products that goes to different nominal accounts. We can teach AutoEntry that every time it sees the word screws, it matches the following conditions. The description contains the word screws. You can then set the nominal account here as well as the VAT code, and then you can just save the rule. The benefits of this is that when you send an invoice through to AutoEntry and we capture the line items, where we see the word screws in the line items, we will go to each individual line and select the relevant nominal account and VAT code for you. This saves you having to go into each individual line and select each account manually. Going back to the inbox page, so although we discussed auto-publish to begin with, we don't recommend that you leave this switched. We do recommend that you leave this switched off for the first 1 or 2 invoices. And the reason for that is, one's giving you faith in the accuracy of the software, and secondly, you'll be giving the rules. So next time, a lot of this will be coded for you. Another way that you can publish is by going back into the inbox where you can do a bulk publish. So you can just select multiple documents there. You can go to actions, you can say publish. If you're happy with everything, you can just click this box at the top, select all, it ticks all the boxes, and then you can go to publish. You can also download the invoices into a CSV if needed. So once the invoices has hit Sage, they move out of the inbox and then into the archive folder. This is where we store a copy for you free of charge for a minimum of 7 years, as well as take a copy over across to Sage. So on here, you can search by date range, or you can search anything relating to the invoice itself. Could be the supplier name, the total, etc. Then here with the rejected folder, 95% of this is made up of duplicates. We don't want duplicates within the account, so AutoEntry will pick these up and it will reject them. We do also deal with handwritten invoices. Of course, this must be readable. So if you can read them, then great. The system will be able to as well. But if it does look like a 4-year-old handwriting, it will most likely get rejected. So in this situation, there is an option to move it back into the inbox, enter all of the information, and then you can publish it to Sage. Just so that you are aware, the sales portion works just the same as purchases. The only difference is that you'll be uploading your documents here on sales, and then you'll be processing it to customer accounts instead of supplier accounts. The next thing we're going to look at today is the supplier statements. So with supplier statements, these can be uploaded into AutoEntry via email or the website. Once the data is processed, you will get an email notification, and it will take you straight into the supplier statement inbox. So we'll use this example here that says unreconcile. We'll click here on the blue eye and then go to reconciliation. So what AutoEntry will be doing is checking if the invoices from the supplier statement is within AutoEntry, whether that be the purchase inbox or the archive folder. So if it automatically finds a match, it will highlight it here in the middle saying matched. You can find a match manually by clicking on Find Match, where you can expand the days as well as the amount. You can ignore if you know that the invoice is coming in the next few days. And then here we see the option to create. The only reasons why you would use the create option is for whatever reason the invoice bypassed AutoEntry and this is manually typed out within Sage. Then you can click create and this will create a template invoice for you and it completes the reconciliation of the supplier statement itself. Once it's reconciled, we'll basically go back to the inbox. Here, the status will say reconciled in green. and the supplier account name will be grayed out, so you won't be able to click on it to actually change it. Then you can go here, go to actions, and then just archive the specific status. The next option here, or the next one available in terms of auto entry, is your bank statements. So with the banks and credit card statements, this is useful for clients who don't have the automatic bank feed functionality. So what you would do is you would upload the bank or credit card statement via the website. You cannot use the mobile app or the email functionality, as this is simply for security purposes. So with the bank and credit card statements, the same with your purchases. You can upload a pile of bank or credit card statements made up of different accounts. You don't have to sit and organize this out, as AutoEntry will do it for you. Once the bank statements have been processed, you would then get an email notification, and then it will take you straight into the bank statement inbox. So here on the left, we have the projects, which is what we would have named on the point of upload. Every bank statement that we upload has to have a project name. We also have an updated section, which shows you the last time a page